2 years after the storming of the U.S. Capitol, prosecutions of rioters are still adding up. On Friday, 33-year-old Julian Kather, who attacked Officer Brian Sicknick with chemical spray, was sentenced to 80 months, nearly 7 years behind bars. The day after the siege, Sicknick died from natural causes, according to the D.C. medical examiner. Julian Kather had pleaded guilty to 2 felony charges. It is the latest in a series of sentences. Here's Scott MacFarlane.
In the largest prosecution in American history, 2 years and 2 weeks after the Capitol siege, nearly half of the 950 people charged have pleaded guilty. And of the approximately 50 defendants to go to trial before a jury, every single one has been convicted.
This was the most photographed crime potentially in American history. It makes these cases difficult to defend.
Right. And what you're seeing is a lot of defendants saying, well, Trump told me to do it, or I was authorized by Trump. And that is a problem because it's not working.
The past week might have been prosecutors' most impactful, securing guilty verdicts in some of the highest profile cases against Richard Barnett, the rioter who put his feet on Nancy Pelosi's desk and stole her mail.
I don't agree with the decision.
Against a Pennsylvania woman accused of violent words toward the former House Speaker. And against 4 members of the far-right Oath Keepers group for seditious conspiracy plotting to block the peaceful transfer of power in America, which former federal defender Lucius Outlaw calls historic for prosecutors.
They don't have any recent track record of trying seditious conspiracy cases, so those convictions...
They matter, and they mean something, and they send a message that the Department of Justice is taking this seriously.
A CBS News review of Justice Department records shows a long road ahead. In just the past year, the feds have arrested 225 more defendants to prosecute, and they're still pursuing arrests of potentially 350 more.
In the severity of their crimes.
Capitol Police Officer Harry Dunn helped repel the attack that day and has testified at trials and before Congress.
Everybody needs to be held accountable because that can't happen. And until there is accountability, it's a possibility that this can happen again.
Meanwhile, a grand jury investigating efforts to overturn the 2020 election is sitting and investigating here at the federal courthouse in Washington with key Trump advisors as witnesses, raising the prospect members of the Trump inner circle could face future charges, or even the former president himself. Scott MacFarlane, CBS News, Washington.